totally cheesy, but it's true. The bigger you want to work, more complex, more efficient, the more people you add. We've got a lot of expansion going on. Two people's plenty for the scale and design we've got going on today. Right now, Matt is using the jacks, these blades. I'll show you his, I guess. These are the jacks. He's starting to carve in this constriction right off the jack, off the blowpipe. This is called the jack line. The jacks make the jack line. And that's going to act as our score mark, so it's going to let us take it off the pipe whenever we're done. I'll come back over here for more inflation. We really got to make sure the jack line's cinched down to the proper diameter. It's not going to function correctly for us later. Blowing. It's a pretty soft, steady pressure that goes in the bubble. We don't have to blow really hard or anything like that. A common question is, do y'all have really strong lungs? And no, I'm not even using my lungs to blow right now. But if I was, I would say no. When the glass is hot, it's soft. So I would say as long as you're alive and breathing, you've got plenty of pressure to blow up a glass bubble. This tool, this little flexible pad here, is just the Seattle Times newspaper. Fold it up, soaked in water. That's all it is. Flexible. We can use that to control the bubble as well. Cool off certain areas we don't want to expand as much. That's going to hold that down. He's letting it stretch, gravity. Now flipping is centrifugal force to make it stretch faster. That's an efficiency move. We like to work the bubble as efficiently as possible. Blowing. I think kind of a fun fact about this tool that I'm using to blow up the bubble. This is the newest tool in the glass blowing studio. This showed up in 2020 when we couldn't blow for each other anymore. So this was some creative problem solving for the time, so we could keep making stuff. I'm using it now just because it's nice to be able to talk and blow at the same time for narrating. So we'll see what Matt wants to do with the shit, you know. He'll probably keep stretching it out if he wants to. If he held the bubble level, it'd be not changing as much. Really shoring up those sidewalls. Blowing. And a little more heat. So the whole studio is running off of natural gas and forced air. Everything has a blower to get it hot. Could be propane, could be electric, but we're plugged into the city's natural gas line. So the reheating chamber, we turn this one on and off every day as we work. So after this demo, we'll turn it off. And tomorrow, we'll come in the morning about an hour before we blow glass, light it on fire. It takes an hour to get hot enough for us to work. The melting furnace that we gather out of, we don't ever turn it off. We turned that on in September, and it's been on ever since, and it will stay on until summertime, and we turn it off for repairs and things like that. We blow glass every day. The furnaces usually take a few days to get cold and a few days to get hot again. So it's more efficient for that just to be on. All right, Matt has just asked me for a button. He would like to wind on a little bit of clear glass to the very middle and bottom of this piece. This is mainly just to make sure that the next step goes smoothly. You gotta think a lot of steps ahead in this process. So I just get a little bit of clear out of the tank. I'll bring this over. Stick that on there, take what you want, tear off what you don't. And he's gonna pat that into a little disc. He'll take another heat and then make sure that foot's all the way flat so it can sit on the table without rocking around. And I'm gonna start working on the punty. Because once Matt is 50% done, the foot's flat, we need to be able to open it. We're gonna have to flip it around 180 degrees. I've got a solid pipe in my hand. I'll make the punty, P-U-N-T-Y. The punty is the pipe we're gonna transfer it onto. So, Mine's solid, it's a little smaller diameter than the blowpipe. I'll take a gather, shape it up into like a little dome shape. Once we're both the right shape and temperature, I'll serve it to Matt. He's gonna stick it right on the foot, break it off the blowpipe, and I'm gonna catch it on this side, as long as we do it right. It's tricky. The whole thing's really difficult, but anytime we're taking glass on and off the pipes, it's more delicate. If either one of us is too cold, it's not gonna work. And you'll know it because the piece will just be on the ground. And that will effectively end our demo early. So if all goes well, I hope you all give Matt a big round of applause. If it doesn't, same thing. Just synchronizing our temperatures. There's a lot of nonverbal communication that goes on in the studio. So we're on there. Should be, anyway. When Matt's ready, he's gonna put water into the jack line, tap the pipe, it'll pop off. I'll catch it. Okay, here we go, don't blink. Water, little tap. And it works. Nicely done. It doesn't always work. No, I didn't really doubt Matt there. Honestly, I think it's fun to build suspense for you all. Matt's been blowing glass almost 20 years. I've been blowing glass 15 years. We've worked together for a couple of years now, so we know each other's timing, cadence. We know the glass, right? It can still go wrong. It's super rare up here, but it can happen. Now, when you're first learning, that is a massive hurdle to get past. Successfully getting the piece from one side to the other without hitting the floor or simply just sending a crack to the side of it. So in that moment, too cold, smash, game over. In that moment, too hot, you finish your piece. You like your shape, you gotta take it off the pipe, you rip out a hole in the bottom. So it's gotta be just right, really. There's a lot of intricacies with heat and timing when it comes to this stuff. And the only way we learn how to do it is just by breaking a bunch of glass. It's true. You break more than you make for the first many years, honestly. So we're gonna start working the opening. We did break it off the blowpipe, so it is uneven, be a little thick, a little jagged up there. So when he comes back with some heat, Matt's gonna use some tweezers. He's gonna grab, pull, stretch, and thin out the glass. He can make it taller if he wants. It's up to him. He's the maker. And then we've got scissors, so we can cut off any excess material. Trimming the lip is a really, really difficult set of moves to learn how to do. I think it took me 7 or 8 years to really get that move. And I mean, like, blowing glass almost every day is what it takes to get good at this stuff. Kind of comparable to practicing an instrument. The more you do it, the better you're gonna get. So we got that nice glow. The glow looks different as it gets darker outside. It's kind of fun. Going for that stretch. In for the cut. I'm just going to be here to make sure this tail doesn't tag back up on Matt's hand. Nicely done. That's very much so a rub your belly, pat your head sort of move. Your hands are doing different things at different rates. Your fingers are inches away from thousands of degrees, still moving on the pipe just a little bit. If that ever freezes in place, it's a little too cold, you put the pipe down on the rail, it just pops off. I'm gonna put a little more beeswax on the blades of the jacks. First I'll heat them up. We got a pile of beeswax right here. So the jacks is the only tool we put wax on. We want those ones to slide and glide on the bubble. If the wax drips onto our tweezers or scissors, then they don't grab or cut, they just slip right off. So we actually put our tools down on the bench in a specific way, facing the same direction, and the exact way we're gonna pick it up and put it down every time. We don't have time to dilly-dally searching for tools. It's a short working window, around 45 seconds, I'd say, to work it before you gotta go back to the fire. So you wanna know where our tools are at. Matt gave this a nice flare. He had the jack plates on the inside, turning, using upward pressure. He's doing a little size check. He's going to take a heat, come back, and use the Sophietta. Sounds fancy. It's just a cone with a straw on it. So if we can seal the lip with the cone, we can blow through the straw and inflate the bubble from this side. Sophietta is an Italian word. We're very Italian, Venetian-based glass blowers here in Seattle and throughout most of the world. We just call it the puffer, because that's what it does. So Matt's going to fill out kind of this area of the bubble just a little bit. And he's probably just about done. What do you think, Matt? He's done. What do y'all think? It's beautiful. So we're going to take that off the pipe, load it in our annealing oven, which will allow us to slowly cool the glass over 16 hours, or anneal the glass over 16 hours. Everything we've made today is in that 950 degree Fahrenheit, 510 Celsius oven. Not moving, not cracking, it just stays the same at that resting temperature. We'll load this in there, clean up the studio, send that through its annealing cycle. We can take this out in 2023. You like that one?